morning. So I want to quickly do the summary of what we had in the morning so that the one online can be able to get a quick summary video of what we were doing. All right. This is a schematic diagram, so we're going to be labeling it, and then we're going to be finding out what has been happening in the market. All right. So before now, this was the previous high. Okay. So this is a high. Okay. Now this place is a high, and this is low. Okay. So sorry, this is the low. Now, all right, so as price kept going up, okay, violates this high. Okay, so this was, or this is supposed to be a break of structure, but somehow I can only be confirmed. Just for you to know when an inducement is taken out, and after you, an inducement is just a pullback before break of structure, right? So a pullback before break of structure. Shown us what a valid pullback is. All right, so let me show you what a valid pullback is. Assume these are candlesticks. All right, so that's the major candlestick. Let me draw it appropriately so that we can be able to get the gist. All right, so has wick above and wick below. All right, so this is another candlestick. Okay, so price kept going up on this asset. All right, so price kept going up for illustration. So a good pullback is supposed to come and take the low of this candle, because this candle is the highest candle here. So a good pullback should come back down and break the low here. All right, so we should have something like this. It can take multiple candles. All right, it can take multiple candles, but a good pullback are to actually not create a new high, basically, but had to violate the low of this highest candle. All right, so even if it's with the wick or even body, one of the two must happen. So the price comes back down like this, violating the low of the most recent candle. All right, so this is a valid pullback. So this, no matter how, we don't need the body to close below to confirm that is a pullback. Just the wick is enough. All right, so this is a valid pullback, and price continued higher. All right, so price continued delivering price higher. All right, so price continue pushing up higher. All right. All right, so let me stop this here. All right, so price continue pushing up higher. Price continue pushing up higher. Okay, so the major summary is that the most recent pullback, this pullback here before structure breaks above, let's say structure broke around here, right? So let's say structure broke around there. Let me just make a sketch so that we can be able to understand what I'm talking about. All right, so price moves like this. All right, came down like this to this place, and you see this candle. This was a high, a pullback, then structure broke above. All right, so let's stop there. All right, so this was a break structure here. So this is where structure actually break, though this high is not confirmed yet. All right, so this has broken structure to the upside. So we have a valid BMS, we have a break of structure, but this high had to be confirmed only if it comes down and clear the short-term low, which is here. This is the inducement here. See it here. This short pullback before the break of structure is what we call IDM inducement. So this is inducement. All right. So this is IDM inducement. So price is trying to induce buyers. It's trying to push them to actually make mistake by buying from this zone. So most persons you want to buy because this is liquidity grab, but this was the first pullback and basically the only pullback before structure breaks. Now, if price did not take inducement and price came here, all right, and price came there and continue up, all right, so price continued printing and price kept. We'll keep anticipating the moment price will break, okay, clear an inducement, the most recent pullback, all right, which is there, and then as soon as price clear this inducement, then this becomes our new valid high. Okay, so this high becomes our new valid high. So our new range, okay, is from here, this low here to this here. So that's that about the structure marking. So we have a high, a low, a higher high. So now from here, remember this is an inducement, all right, so this is IDM, okay, so this is IDM, this here, all right, inducement. This is valid. Price can continue printing up an higher pricing, but actually this is how we mark structure, all right. So I don't want to confuse you, so tonight I'm going to be talking basically on pullback and how to validate a particular high. So to validate that high, okay, price had to clear inducement to the downside and he can decide to do whatever he wants to do. So that's that on this. Okay, so I think that's that on the structure marking of this time frame. So price can either react to this place, the next pullback, okay, so which is here, is another zone, or price can decide to come to the last, this place here, last pullback, or the other block basically. So all these are potential areas for buy in the market. So you just have to wait for confirmation before you buy. But first, make sure inducement is grabbed, and then we can start looking for higher pricing. All right. So this is what I want to show us tonight. All right. So let me go back to my schematics. All right. So let's go back to our schematics. So this is the high, and then as soon as this inducement is captured, all right, so let me pick this one here. This is an IDM, all right. So before structure break, we have a pullback, and then price broke off. Remember, before you have a pullback, the low of a particular candle has to be taken out before structure breaks. So if that low is not taken out, then it's not a valid pullback. All right, so this is an IDM, price took it out, come back to the next pullback, and then start buying. So this becomes the next valid high. So this is a valid high because it clears out inducement. So it clears out inducement, so this becomes a valid high. All right, price going, so this would have been a new high, but the retracement didn't clear any inducement, so we will not mark this as a high. All right, until an inducement is captured, we can call a high a high. So now we have this pullback here. This is a pullback. This is another pullback, and price kept going up. So suddenly price came, cleared this pullback, which is our next inducement. All right, so this is another inducement taken. Okay, so the inducement has been taken, so this becomes a valid high. This is a valid high, this one here, and this is the valid low. So price can do whatever I want to do, but this is the valid low, and that's the valid high. All right, price continued, came to the next, pullback, or would rather come to the next pullback or the last, other block. So price did that and then push up, giving us this inducement space. All right, so this is another IDM, the short pullback before a break of structure. That's the inducement. So this is inducement. Not necessarily that price has to clear it every time, but as in immediately. So, but price must actually clear an inducement before we call it a valid high. All right. So price came down and cleared this IDM on a long run. All right. So this becomes a valid high. This is now a high. All right. And this becomes a valid low. So this is a valid low. So price can come back into the lower point and then start buying. So that's how you have to play it. So this clear this eye. So let me mark it so that you can see clearly. So this eye was clearly cleared, but we cannot validate this eye because no inducement was taken out. This is an inducement. Price as didn't take it out. All right. So price didn't take it out. What? Price didn't take this inducement out and then continue pushing up. All right. So this is another inducement. As price keep pushing out, you keep marking the recent pullbacks so that you can be able to get good stuff. All right. So when do we have a high? As soon as this inducement was taken. So this becomes another valid high. And how to mark structure now. All right. So we've made an adjustment to the way we mark structure. All right. So that's how to mark structure now. All right. So now you know inducement and then you know how to mark structure. All right. I'm not going to take our time. I want to I'll just make a summary, maybe 20 minutes we will round up. And then okay, so this is how to mark structure now. All right. So structure now. So let's go to live chat. All right, you can see I've given you this example. We have the example there. All right, so that's the example there. All right, so to have a valid pullback, the highest candle low had to be taken out. So this is the highest candle. All right, so the low had to be taken out. It's in a buy scenario. In a sell scenario is opposite. All right, so this low taken out and then boom, structure breaks. So this is a pullback and this is an IDM inducement. All right, so we go to the retest scenario now. So I'm going to delete all this. I believe you can see clearly. Sorry if you cannot see clearly now. I don't know, but yeah, it's clear. I think it's a bit clear. So let's go to the retest scenario. Let me delete all this. Okay, no, there's no need to delete. No need to delete. All right, so let's go to the retest scenario using VIX 10X. Let's see how I would have taken a few trades and then get good results. All right. Wow, network. Okay. So I have to refresh. I'm still refreshing. Okay, let's hope that this actually works out. Okay, in case it didn't work out, then I'll use my MT5 to explain to us. All right, so I'm still loading. Please try as much as possible to rewatch this video over and over and over. And please watch it, study it until you get it. Until you really get it. So let's use VIX 10X as an example. So don't let me use this. Let me use 10X as an example. All right, so this VIX 10X. Okay. Now you need not to worry. What we are looking for on this chart after this eye was taken out, this eye was taken out. Now the fact is, how did we validate that high? You need to know why we validate that high, because this pullback was taken out. You need to know this inducement was taken out here, right? So that inducement was actually taken out. Now, why is that place an inducement? I've explained it without the chart. Okay, so let's go back. Let me zoom in. You can see it now. this is an inducement because it's the pullback before the break of that high. So this was the major pullback. See it here. This was the highest candle. This candle goes below it and then continue up. So this is an inducement. Price came below it and then cleared it. All right, so price cleared it to the upside. We are not talking about entry yet. That entry is going to be very exciting, so I wouldn't expect anybody to miss it. But anyway, let's see what we get. All right, so so that's why this is a valid, this place is a valid high. So price did the same thing, clear the high here. Now what do we expect? We are looking for areas where inducement lies. All right, this was supposed to be an inducement, but we don't have a clear break above it, so no stress. I'm not going to stress myself just doing this. All right, so where is our valid, you know, point? Okay, point is here. We have this. This is an inducement. All right, we expect price to come there and clear it. All right, so price came and did justice to it. So we would be looking for entries anywhere here. All right, anywhere here. I'm going to mark them. This is a pullback. All right, so price can decide to continue buying here, or price can decide to target the last order block, which was here. All right, so this was the last order block here. Okay, using our lower time frame confirmation, we can actually take this trade. All right, so let's go back to H1. Let's see how we would have, you know, taken advantage of this trade. Just wait for confirmation within those zones. Let's see what we can get. Let's see what we can get of this. All right, H1. H1. I'm just showing you how price had to move. Just how price had to move before, you know, giving us good taste of entry. All right. All right, so this is it. So let's do this. Okay, so this was the first zone. Okay, so this was the first zone. All right, first zone that we were targeting. All right, so this was a pullback, come down. So this is a church. All right, so a church occurred actually here, but price came back and took it out. All right, so this is a good probability trade, but it's not really high. Extreme one is always very high. I've told us before that extreme one is always very, very high probability. So I would have been waiting for the extreme one, but then it doesn't mean that this one wouldn't hold. Okay, now what you see here is this was a church, but also this is inducement. Okay, basically inducement that was, you know, supposed to be taken out and blah blah blah. It was taken out. All right, so you would have taken advantage of this, actually targeting the next point of interest for a sell. All right, so this was a good buy. All right, to this place. Let me see. This was a good pullback, another inducement. Yeah, so that's that. As soon as you see a reversal break of structure, you just have to close your trade or move your stop losses or break even. But when price gets here to this high here, zoom in very well so that you can see it. All right, as soon as price gets to this high here, you should have broken even. As price keep printing, you should be able to take partial at 1 to 3. All right, so price actually gave this move. Now, majorly, most persons will be asking me, okay, why didn't I use inducement here? We'll talk about that in entry. All right, we'll talk about that during our entry module. Okay, so when we want to talk about how to enter trades here, we show us the models we should use to enter trade around this place. Okay, so that's that. So price gave an higher pricing, and then you'd have gotten how many risk to reward ratio. Okay, so we have here, and then let's say target 1 to 3. Okay, 1 to 3 you break even or you close partial. All right, so this gave 1 to 5 or so. So that's just that. And then price continued downward. All right, so price cleared you, stopped you out. You should know that price is not giving you any chances. So price came back down into the other zone, and this is what we have on H1. Let's quickly see what we have. All right, so we have this church. All right, so a pullback, break of structure. All right, so I don't want to stress too much. So we're anticipating that I to be taken out. All right, which price actually took out. Now, where would have been concentrating on was here. 1, 2, tested. All right, majorly we would have been concentrating on here. Okay, but no matter what we do, okay, your stop loss should have been below. All right, so this is where we would have been looking at pricing. All right, so this place, that's where I would have been looking to take my trades. My stop loss will be below there. All right, so this was actually a break of structure and a retest, and price pushed to the upside. So necessarily, yeah. So if your stop loss was below here, you would have been taken out by this move and then move up. All right, so let's talk about how to re-enter. Okay, in case we got stopped out here and then we are looking for opportunities to re-enter. All right, so let's go. Okay, so price continue printing up. All right, breaking this high. Okay, like I said before, this high was taken out. All right, so this high has been taken out. All right, so what do we look out for? Let me delete this. All right, so what do we look out for? We look out for areas where there's inducement and price looking out for taking it out. Okay, all right, so coming first, I think I used H4. I'm coming. All right, so I marked this zone on weekly, basically. Sorry, so I used H4. Yeah, I used H4 for these trades. Yes. So the zone was marked on weekly, but because TradingView doesn't have weekly, I use H4 to do this. All right, so this was a break of structure. Price kept going higher. All right, so as soon as price broke up, I told you areas you look out for is areas of inducement is close to structural break. All right, so we anticipate that price will come here as inducement. Okay, as soon as price break here, we anticipate that price come here and clear this inducement, but price did not. Instead, price gave us a pullback, a valid one, okay, because it cleared this low and then pull up. So this becomes an inducement, this one here. All right, so that's an inducement. Most persons buying a price will just react and then stop them out. So this is an inducement, and this is a valid pullback which can double as a block, all right, another block and all blah 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 blah. All right, so this is what we have here. So price came into it and pulled up. But if you want to enter this trade, you can go to lower time frame. You'll be able to see a break of structure. All right, let me see if I can show you easily. All right, so let me see if I can show us that so that we won't have to start going for that. All right, so we have 8 o'clock 25 June. All right, so on 15 minutes or 30 minutes we should see an entry. Okay, all right, so 25th June. All right, so let's check. Let's see what we have there. If you see a confirmation, then we can enter. But I will show you a model of entry. Okay, so but it's not today. We check that out. All right, so this is it. Let's see whether it will load. Load, my friend. Load. All right, so it's not loading. All right, so let's go to M30. Let's see. All right, so this is M30. Remember, we are just waiting for confirmation around there. All right, so we can trade off this. All right, so that's that. So we are looking for a church on this time frame. All right, where is a valid pullback? All right, so we are looking for a valid pullback. All right. All right, so the last valid pullback was somewhere around here. All right, so let's see. Valid pullback was here. All right, so price cleared above it. So this is the church here. All right, so not the extreme high, but the recent pullback. As soon as it got cleared, that's the church. So where do we look at entering this trade? All right, so since this, we are looking for areas where liquidity lies. All right, so this IDM. This is the IDM. So price, like I said, can decide to react off any of this zone. This one, this is a pullback. All right, that's a pullback there. This is another pullback here. Also bear in mind areas of imbalance. Always take note of where imbalances are. Like I said before, the zone that doesn't have imbalance, like this one, no imbalance, you should know that it will get violated. So this is why this place get violated. All right, so this was valid. There was imbalance between them, and then price came to retest it and then started pushing up. That's how simple it is. But we are not talking about entries today. We are talking about how price moves. Okay, so how price moves. Like I said before, I've backtested it and I've seen the results that it can give. So let's just proceed. All right, so sorry, we're anticipating that price will clear this high. All right, so this high is now the next target. All right, this is the next target, this high. Now, so as I said before, as soon as price clear this high, we are looking for price sweeping the next pullback. All right, so this, as soon as this high got cleared, so this is the last pullback here as IDM. So this was the last IDM we anticipate price taking out before pushing to the upside. All right, so price didn't come here, so this becomes the next inducement because this is the last pullback. All right, so price pushed up to the upside, so we're anticipating price clearing that pullback, which it did. Okay, and then we're anticipating is that price come to the order flow. I will still teach us about order flow, but not today. Our price go to the order block. All right, in this case, price didn't give us the order block play, but remember this high is now valid. Okay, so this is a valid high. This high becomes a valid high. All right, so price continue pushing to the upside. All right, the next thing to do again is to wait for price to clear inducement. All right, so this is moved to the downside. All right, okay, so this is an inducement. Okay, let me show you. So this is an IDM. All right, because this eye was taken out, like I said before, this eye has been taken out by the week. All right, to calculate, to check inducement, you don't need a close of the body of the candle, you just need a wick up above. All right, so this was it. Now, where are the zones we are looking at? Remember, this is the overall low. Okay, so this is the overall low here. All right, so this is the overall low. So where are we looking at to take trades? Remember, your zone must have imbalance. Okay, so this place is a valid area to buy. All right, it's a valid area to buy. Which other zone? This has been mitigated, and this is also a valid zone to buy. All right, Those are the two zones that has this thing. Okay, so this place should buy price to the upside, and this place. So if you go on lower time frame, you would have seen good confirmation around here to take your price upward. All right, so the next thing, the same thing over and over. Okay, look for areas where inducement lies. All right, so this is not valid. This place is not valid. This one is not valid according to price printing. All right, so this is the highest candle high. So this candle is the highest. Let me zoom in so that you can see it. All right, so this is the highest candle. The low had to be taken out for this pullback to be valid, but it wasn't taken out. The same thing here, this was the highest candle. This low had to be taken out, but it wasn't taken, and blah blah blah. So this is the last inducement. You see it here. Basic, no stress. This was the last inducement. It has to be taken out before price continue up higher. All right, so price continuing up higher. All right, so where are we looking at for price to come? That one we'll talk about that probably later when we want to talk about entries. All right, so price can buy from anywhere below here. All right, so let's see if we have valid order block. All right, so price can buy from anywhere here. All right, so we stick our confirmation based on time. All right, so let's see what next. So this is the valid high. So this is the next valid high on this time frame. All right, so this is a valid high. Okay, so this is a valid high because inducement has been taken, IDM / taken. All right, so we are waiting for price to also clear IDM on this time frame. All right, so this is the inducement here before structure break. So if price clear this place, we'll be anticipating price coming into a particular order flow or another block. All right, so this order block here, that's an imbalance, and it's also a good area for price to buy from. So if you see confirmation, all these ones have been mitigated. This one got mitigated by this and blah blah blah. So all these ones have been mitigated, no imbalance. This is the only one that has imbalance. So we anticipate that price comes here and then push up. So that's how price should print. So we wait for confirmation here before buying. All right, so I just wanted to show you how price had printed. All right, so inducement taking, you see confirmation, you buy. Inducement taking, confirmation, you buy. Inducement taking, confirmation. Inducement taking, then you buy. Confirmation. After confirmation, you have to buy. Okay, so after the confirmation, that's when the buy comes into play. Okay, the buy comes into play after confirmation. All right, so as soon as this inducement get cleared, this zone has my eyes on it. We see confirmation here, then we'll push the outside. So no stress, this is just our price print. Okay, so I just decided to do more explanation based on what has been taught, and I hope this share more light to what we have been learning over time. Okay, so if you have any question, be free to ask. Yeah, so that's that. So I would have checked currencies for a few things, but we'll talk about that maybe in some other videos. Cheers, God bless you. I remain the same person, Ezra. Good night, everyone. Bye.